Hello everyone, I'm Nehal from WsCubeTech, and in this video we'll write a Python program for prime number and composite number. Alright, so before going towards and writing the code and all, we'll just understand the what are this prime number and composite number and the logic behind this. Alright, so the first thing over here is that the prime numbers are those numbers which has exactly two factors. All right, so prime number would be, it would be divisible by 1. All right, so each number, I mean to say all numbers are divisible by 1, and it would be divisible by the number itself. So for example, if I take 5, all right, so 5 would be divisible by 1 and it would be only divisible by 5. That's it. Whereas in the case of composite numbers, we are going to have, it would be divisible by more than two factors. You know, it will have more than two factors. So say for example, if I just take an example over here, so you can just see that I will just list down. So prime numbers. So the prime numbers would be 2, 3, 5, 7, and it would be 11. All right. And talking about the composite number over here, so the composite number over here would be 4, then it will be 6, 8, 9, 10, and you can just go on. So 11 and 12. All right. So you can see over here that in case of this 2, all right, so this number would be divisible by 1 and it would be divisible by 2. Okay, so the prime numbers are those numbers which have exactly two factors. In case of 3, it will be divisible by 1 and it will be divisible by 3. In case of 5, it will be divisible by 1 and it will be divisible by 5, and the same with all. Whereas in composite number, you can see over here, now this 4 is there, so it would be divisible by 1, it would be divisible by 2, it would be divisible uh, by 4. All right, so it is having more than two factors. In case of 6 also, so we will just apply this logic as the prime numbers would be those numbers which has exactly two factors. All right, and composite numbers will be those numbers which has factors more than 2. All right, and talking about 0 and 1. Okay, so if I just say that 0 and 1, so it would be in the category of those are neither prime nor composite, so it is neither. Okay, so these numbers are neither, so it is this 0 and 1 falls into the category of they are neither prime number nor composite number. So as for now, we have understood like what a prime number, composite number. So the logic says over here is that we are going to write the logic in such a case that we'll just say that if a particular number is having only two factors, so it will be prime, and if a particular number is having more than two factors, so we will just put that into the category of composite number. All right, so what I'm just going to do over here is let's now head over to our PyCharm over here, and we will just, what we are going to do, the first step is to take the input from the user. All right, so I'm just going to say take a variable that is num is equal to, and inside this I will just take input and I will ask for the number. So I will just say enter the number. All right, so once I have the number, I will just store that thing inside my variable that is num. All right, so we have taken this thing. Now what I want to do over here is that I will just make use of the while loop. All right, so while using a while loop, what we are expected to do is we need to initialize our variable. All right, that is setting a counter, that is whether it would start by 0 or 1. Then the second step is about writing the condition, okay, that up till what condition you want your loop to work. Okay, so that condition we write with the while loop. And in the third step, what we do is we just want to update our counter, okay, the modification part. That is, if the I is set to 0, so we need to tell our I that you get incremented by 1 or 2 or as per the condition. So we are doing the update. All right, so these three things are required over here. Now we are going to do that thing. So, and one more thing over here is like we are going to set the counter variable to 0. Now why I'm doing that counter is because as you seen over here that our logic says that if suppose a particular number is there which we have taken from the user, so that number has exactly two factors, all right. So it will be under the prime number. So I'm just going to store that count, okay. So if that particular count is just equal to 2, so that would be my prime number. If my count, all right, so if that count gets incremented more than 2, okay, so that will fall into the composite number, okay. And the rest of the thing will be under the condition that is neither. So in order to implement this count, I have to set that my count, I have to initialize that to 0, and that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to do, I will just set my counter variable to 0, okay. So initially I am having this 0 stored inside my count. All right, fine. Now I will go with the while condition. So in order to do that while condition, I will just say that when I is equal to 1, all right, because I want to go with start with 1 and go till the num, all right. So I will just set my counter variable as I is equal to 1, and inside my while condition what I want to do is I want to start with I. So I should be less than equal to my num, all right, because I have to go to that range, because I will divide my number from 1 till my number, all right. And inside this while, what I'm going to do is I will take out the remainder, that is the modulus. So I'm going to say that if my num mod I is equal to 0, so what you do, so you just set my count is equal to count plus 1, all right. And here I'm just going to increment my counter. That's it. So basically what is happening over here is, like, suppose we take an example of 5, all right. So what I have done over here, so in num I'm going to have 5, okay, and it will come up on the fourth line, that is it will start with 1. So it will start with 1, so my I is 1, so it will, in the condition it will check is 1 less than equal to 5. So yes, the condition is true over here. And over here what will happen is, if that condition is true, it will come to the sixth line and it will just take out that modulus. So here it will be 5 mod 1 is equal to 0 over here. So 5 mod 1 is equal to 0. Yes, the condition is true. So my count, inside my count, it will be 1 now, because earlier it was 0. So it will be 0 is equal to 0 plus 1 over here. All right. So it will be now 1 inside this. Okay. Now my I will be incremented to 2. Okay. So again the condition will be checked, okay, my I will become 2 now. So it will be now in while condition, that is 2 less than equal to my 5. So the condition is true. It will come into my if statement. So it will check that 5 mod 2. So now 5 mod 2 is not equal to 0. So my count won't be incremented, okay, it would be set to the initial condition, okay. And now my I will be incremented to 3. So my I is 3. So in while condition what will happen is, it will check for whether 3 is less than equal to 5. So yes, it is less. It will come to my if statement, and again it is not equal to. And similarly this loop will go on, and when the condition is 5, okay, when my I is equal to 5, so it will check that I is less than equal to 5. So yes, the condition is true over here. It will come to my if statement over here. So it will check 5 mod 5 is equal to 0. So yes, it is. You are going to get the remainder for that value as 0 over here. And now my count will be incremented to 2. Okay. And this loop, when my I will become 6 now, so it will be checked again for the condition, that is 6 less than equal to 5. So no, it is not, and you will be out of your loop. All right. So this is the simple logic over here. And now once we have the count now, right, okay, this loop will just take out the count, okay. And now in order to, depending upon that count, we are going to give the condition over here. So say for example, I say now, I will just say that if count is equal to 2, okay. So we have already understood the logic, like if the count is equal to 2, that is if you are having for a particular number, if you are having only 2 factors, so that is a prime number, right. So you're just going to say inside your print statement that the number is prime. That's it, okay. And if the factors are more than 2, so that is, so we'll just going to take elif condition. So if I say elif, and if I just say that if elif count is greater than 2, all right, So that is your composite number, right? So I'm just going to say print, and inside this I'm just going to say number the number is composite. All right. And if I just get the input for 0 and 1, so it comes into the category of neither composite nor or. So we'll just put that thing inside our else block. So I'm just going to say print number is neither prime nor composite. Okay. So we are just going to run this thing. So now it asks for the number. So let's check for all the possible values. Okay, so I'm just going to say 0 over here, and it says the number is neither prime nor composite. So yes, we are getting the for this thing we are getting the right output. We are going to check for the 1. So it even says that the number is neither prime nor composite. All fine. If I just say 2, so my 2 comes into the category of prime number. So it says the number is prime, okay, because it is going to have exactly 2 factors, that is 1 and 2. All right. Let's take the number as 3 over here. So if I just take 3 over here, now 3 is also a prime number over here, and it will have factors of 1 and the number itself, that is 3. So exactly 2 factors. So it is going to give you the number is prime. All right, fine. What about the 4 one? Okay, now this 4 is going to have more, the count will be set for more than 2, okay, because it is divisible by 1, then the number itself, that is 4, and it is also divisible by 2. So it will just give you the composite number. So it says the number is composite. All right, fine. What about the 5? Okay, so 5 is a prime number. All right, so it will have exactly 2 counts, okay, 2 factors, and it says the number is prime over here. So it is all working fine. What if I just give 11? So in this case, it is saying the number is prime because it is having only 2, the count will have only 2 stored inside it, and the factors are, that is 1 and the number itself, that is 11. So I hope that you have understood this logic, and I will just repeat this once again over here. So in the first step, what we have done is we have taken the input from the user and we have just initialized the count to 0 over here, and we are just saying that you start with 1, okay, because I'm using a while loop over here, and this is my while loop says that in order to just declare your while loop, you need to initialize, okay, your counter variable, then you need to write the condition along with your while keyword, and you need to update your I. So we have studied these things in our previous in our Python tutorials, right? That how you are going to declare a while loop, okay, how you're going to work with the while loop. So here what basically I'm doing is I'm just saying you start with 1, okay, and you go till the number. So it will start with 1 and it will go till because I've said that I is less than equal to the number, that whatever the input I'm taking from the user. And inside this, what I'm just doing, I'm just taking out the modulus. I want the remainder, because if a particular number is divisible, all right, divisible by that I, okay, so completely, if I'm getting the 0 over here, so uh, that particular number, okay, so what I'm basically doing over here is I'm taking out the modulus over here. So what I'm doing, that whatever the number I'm getting from the user, and it will start with I, okay, so 1. So if that is equal to 0, okay, so I just want to set my count is equal to count plus 1, okay, I just want to set my count, okay, so it will just count how many times my that particular value I'm getting. So what I'm basically doing over here is like I'm taking out the modulus over here, okay, the remainder, and it will just set my condition over here. So for example, if I took here 7 over here, so what will happen over here is that this I will start with 1, and each time it will check for the condition that is 7 less than equal to the num, that is so what I've done over here is we have simply taken an input from the user, and I've set my count to 0, all right, and I have set my started my condition, okay, this is my while loop over here. So I've set my condition that you start with 1, okay, and you go till my number, okay, this I is less than equal to num, okay, and inside this, what I'm just doing, that inside my if statement, I'm just checking for the modulus operator, that is the remainder, okay. So as we know that we have already seen that for those are prime numbers, so exactly the count would be, or you can say the factors would be 2, okay, because prime numbers are those numbers which have exactly 2 factors over here. So in case of if I just give the number as prime number over here, so it will just have 2 factors over here. The one would be the one factor and the next factor would be the number itself, okay, and this count will be equal to 2 uh, uh, in case of the prime numbers, all right. And that only I have given inside my if statement, that if count is equal to 2, if it is having exactly 2 factors, so just print that the number is prime. Now in case of the number have which are composite, which are having the factors for more than 2, okay, so in that case the count variable would be set for more than 2 times. So that condition I have given in my elif part, that is if the count is greater than 2, so that particular number would be composite. And inside so this would be the thing. And in the else part, what I have done, that if apart from this uh, the numbers which are having exactly 2 factors or more than 2 factors, apart from this, if you get anything, so you just print that the number is neither prime nor composite. So there those are those numbers are 0 and 1 over here. So I hope that you are clear with this thing. So this is the exact way how you can just go with the uh, case, okay, for printing the prime number and the composite number, because this would give you the result for even your 0 and 1. Because the 0 and 1 are neither prime nor composite, so you can't put this thing inside your prime category, all right, or composite category. You need to just specify this condition separately, that is this is neither prime nor composite. So I hope you are clear with this thing. And if you just like this video, so hit the like button and do subscribe to our channel. Yeah, thanks for watching.